my top 5 attractions in Romania, we'll start with number 5. Number 5 is the Mary Cemetery. The Mary Cemetery is in Săpânța. This is a city close to Suceava in the northeast corner of Romania. The reason why I have the Mary Cemetery as my number 5 on this list is because it is just something so unheard of in my opinion. This is a cemetery where the graves and the headstones are painted. The headstones are usually painted blue or some sort of vibrant color, and they usually tell a story on the headstone, and usually this story is like a happy story about the person that's passed away. It is something that I've always wanted to do ever since I found out about it while I was living in Romania. I never was close enough to Suceava to go and see this place, so I never have gotten to see it, but it is on my dream bucket list to get there. And one of the cool things about Romania is at like every cemetery, there's a church there too. So you can go and see one of the Orthodox churches, which has beautiful paintings inside, usually a lot of vibrant colors, incredible things. I think the Mary Cemetery should be on anyone's top 5 list if they're going to Romania of attractions to see. Number 4 is going to be Casa Poporului, or in English, the People's Palace. This is located in Bucharest. It is the second heaviest building in the whole wide world. It is absolutely incredible. When you are in Bucharest, this is a sight you must see. Driving up to it in the summer, there's these fountains all around, like the drive up to Casa Poporului, and the fountains are just beautiful. Everything is beautiful, as it's this street that's like a pretty narrow street for how big the street is. That doesn't make sense, but it's not like expansive. It doesn't feel like wide open. You're kind of tight in between what we called blocks in Romania, these apartment buildings. And so you're driving up to it, and then there's this massive building that just pops out. And it is beautiful. I've never actually been inside. You can take tours inside. I've never had the opportunity to do that, but I would love to. I think Casa Poporului, just being on the grounds, driving up to it, seeing this huge building, it almost feels like it takes you back in time to like what the Greeks felt like when they were building like the Parthenon and some of their other buildings. It is a huge building. It feels like it represents more than just, Ceausescu. Ceausescu, the dictator of Romania, was the one who built that. But I think for me, it represents the drive, the intelligence, the amazing artwork, and the amazing workmanship of the Romanian people. It really kind of solidifies to me how incredible Romania is. And Casa Poporului, being in the center of the city, being in the capital city, really resonates to me. And just so everyone knows, there are beautiful parks around it. There's a subway stop that goes really, really close. It's in an incredible location. So Casa Poporului, definitely on my top 5 list of things that you would have to see if you ever visit Romania, especially if you're visiting Bucharest. This is a must-see if you visit Bucharest. Number 3 for me is Castelul Corvinilor, also known as Corvin's Castle in English. So this castle was actually built by a Hungarian guy, Hunadi. I don't really speak Hungarian, so I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he built this castle. Apparently he ruled over it. But one of the coolest things about this castle is that Vlad Dracula, or Vlad the Impaler, is the guy who was imprisoned there. So the guy that Bram Stoker made his book off of was imprisoned in this place. So it is absolutely beautiful. The walk up to it, there's this huge bridge. When you get inside, you feel like a king. There's so much going on. Beautiful cobblestone on the inside, so many passageways and ways to get to different rooms. And there's so many different rooms, like servant rooms, queen's rooms, king's rooms, the tower, the guard tower, the place. They have like these little like, I would almost call them jails outside, where apparently, I'm not sure, but it looks like they're would be people down there or some sort of animals you would keep down in these pits. I guess I would describe them as pits. So it's absolutely incredible. And I think it's actually like one of the biggest castles in Eastern Europe. And you can tell when you are up there, like it feels huge. The castle looks ginormous when you're standing there. And one of the coolest experiences ever happened to me while I was there this last time. So I was getting ready to walk up to the castle and I saw some guy come out. He's wearing this medieval gear, not like a knight's costume, but you know, not like a peasant costume either. And he's starting to walk down the bridge, and I asked him in Romanian if I could take a picture with him, and he said, he didn't say anything. I don't know if he didn't speak Hungarian or he just didn't want to speak because he was trying to be in a role, but he just shook his head. And then we go to take a picture. I'm like starting to walk towards him to like not put my arm around him, but be near him. And then he pulls out like a sword to give me. So I grab the sword and I look at it. And as I'm looking at it, he puts a sword up to my neck. He's an actor. He's not trying to hurt me or do anything. He puts a sword like right up to here. And I just flinched back. It was actually one of the coolest experiences. It kind of took me back in time being there, walking on the cobblestone up to the castle and then crossing this wooden bridge. And then having this guy do this to me while he's wearing a medieval outfit. It was just a totally unreal experience. And I loved it. And even outside of this experience, I had been there once before when I lived in Romania. And it is just a beautiful castle. It's an incredible place to visit. Definitely worth visiting. And that's why it's my number 3 on this list. My number 2 on this list is actually a road. You may not think that for Romania, a road to visit in Romania, but this road is spectacular. Top Gear, a TV show that was highly rated. It's a car show. Many of you may have seen it, but Top Gear actually did go to the Transfagarasan, and this is my number 2 place, the Transfagarasan. This road is beautiful. It's nestled in the mountains, pretty much in between like Sibiu and Brașov. And it kind of leads down to Bucharest, essentially. Not all the way down there, but kind of leads towards Bucharest. So this road was built by Ceausescu, and Top Gear rated it their number 1 road to drive in the world. And you can obviously tell why when you see pictures. This is the other place I had never been outside of the Mary Cemetery. So I've never been here, but I've seen pictures and videos, and it makes me want to go there. Like, this is my number 1 bucket list place to be that I've never been. Because you're driving down this super windy road, you're in the mountains, beautiful view. There's a lake over here. You can stop and go hiking over here. There's waterfalls coming down right here. It just looks absolutely incredible. And I know when I'm driving it, the time would go by too fast. Like I know for a fact that while I'm driving, there just wouldn't be enough time in the day for me to drive this. So the Transfagarasan, just because of its beauty, where it's nestled at in the mountains, the views you get to see, the nature, everything that you get to see while you're there is absolutely incredible. And that is why that's number 2 on my list. And for the penultimate one, not the penultimate one, the last one, the penultimate one was the Transfagarasan. The last number 1 thing on my list to visit is Sighisoara City Center. Sighisoara is actually a UNESCO heritage site. It really feels like you're stepping back into medieval times. They've really preserved Sighisoara to feel like you are going back in time. And when I was in Sighisoara, I stayed there one night. And while I was there, I kind of stayed in this place. They had like a backyard where you could go, and there was a bench up top and a fire pit. So I woke up with my wife and we went up there in the morning, like before the sun had risen. And we went up there, and it was just absolutely beautiful looking down into the city where you could see the clock tower, you could see the church, you could see the hill. And sitting up there while there was fog around the city, and it really felt like you were stepping back into medieval times. This is not like a hyperbole. Like, I really felt like I was in like the 1400s. And it was just incredible. And then after that experience, we went down into the city center, and first off, we walked up to the square, like the main square, by the clock tower. That's an absolutely incredible walk, beautiful views. And then we went up to the city center, the main square, and there are so many beautiful and vibrant colors, pinks, greens, blues. You can see where Vlad Dracula was actually born, or lived, I guess. Maybe I should say lived. And then you go up this little passageway, and there's these steps called the Scholars' Steps that take you up to a school and a church up top. And there's something like 1,000 steps up to get there. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to do more research on how many steps there actually are, but you take so many steps up, and I was there right as kids were like walking to school. So I got to walk up these steps as kids were walking to school, and it was just incredible. And then after that, we went and walked around like outside of the square, and the roads were just like totally different than any other road you've ever been on. The streets, I don't even want to call them roads because you couldn't really drive on them. They were these small little passageways that you can think of like if you think of like a medieval place where they had no direction. These, it wasn't like built for like a car or like a trolley. It was built exactly for people to walk on right up to their house, and the streets just kind of went wherever. And it was just amazing. One of the coolest experiences in my life was visiting Sighisoara. It's like 4 hours outside of Bucharest, so it's definitely doable if you wake up early enough. And you don't have to spend a ton of time there. I don't think you're going to spend 12 hours in Sighisoara. It's something you could probably do in 6 hours and feel really good about yourself, or 8 hours and feel really, really good that you saw everything that you wanted to see. But it is my number one attraction that you would have to see in Romania if you ever went to Romania. Thank you guys for joining in today. I love Romania. I hope you guys all know that. The beauty, the people, just the culture, the things that you can feel and see while you're in Romania is just totally different than anywhere else for me. And that's why I've made this channel. I want to promote Romania as much as I can. I want people to know about the beauty, to know about how amazing things are in Romania, and to know that Romania has a super bright future ahead. It may look bleak at some times, it may look dark or not perfect, but the people of Romania have that opportunity to build this place up, and I'm so excited for what the future holds for Romania. Thank you guys for joining. Love you. Peace. Și să aveți bucurie și vă iubim. Ciao.